I'll double check to make sure it's even live. That's working.
Actually,
cool.
Move that over.
It's up. Alrighty. Welcome everyone to the, I guess technically the War Within / Midnight Warrior Roundtable. My name is Maddox. I play the Warrior and talk about the Warrior class. What about you, Mr. Gilneas?
Yeah. What's up? I'm Gil, or formerly known. Most people probably remember me from the last 5 years as Gajeel, but I'm not on that server anymore. I was in Vision for 5 years, now in Infinity. Just been a high-end raider and high-end PvE player for a long time.
Hoggers.
And you, Mr. Zian?
Hi, my name is Zan. I moderate for Skyhold and yap like all day, and I like raid at Hall of Fame level for like a while. But I mostly just yap and have bad opinions. So.
All right. So I guess we'll start with. Should I put some I'm gonna put some crappy no copyright background music just so there's something there.
Yes. Let's go. We love NCS and Monster Cat.
Dude, I actually had a problem with Monster Cat where all their stuff was no copyright.
Really?
And then, it was no copyright, and then they lost the licenses of it for a while. So then some of the stuff got retroactively copyrighted, and I was like, I can't do this ever again. This ain't gonna work.
Wow, that's insane.
It's great. But yeah, I mean, going into the War Within, starting with the Ansarek tier, something that I kind of resonated with, Dan War from Method talked about quite a bit, was he liked the fact that warriors seemed to fill a niche, like it really had a purpose besides damage. And that mainly revolved around the burst profile that we had, the AoE burst profile, with Titan's Torment on top of Odin's Fury on top of Bladestorm doing pretty good damage. And then the fight design being around that between Rashinan, or Omnivax, and then especially Ansarek really supporting the timings in that burst profile that really, I would say set us apart. And more so than the fact that it did really big damage, the fact that it actually was a niche for the class that we haven't really seen in quite some time, or an important niche that was pretty good. But unfortunately, it was too good for Warcraft logs, as we look to be upwards of 10% ahead of every other class based on metrics, and before things really got going, before we even got to touch it in Mythic Plus, got nerfed into the ground, and have overall, outside of this previous patch, felt somewhat mediocre. How do you guys feel about it?
What's crazy is that kind of going into Nerevar before Heroic or Normal actually opened, we were looking even better. But they shot that in the head before it even had a chance to actually go live. Because they killed Unhinged Cleaving during the early access 3 days period, and that would have been fucking bonkers on every fight in that tier. So yeah, I don't know. We just, every time there's something we're good at, we get shot in the head. What can you do?
I still remember 10 minutes into pre-patch getting Odin's Fury nerfed because of Season 3 tier.
Yeah, that was good.
Literally 10 minutes into pre-patch, we were in our raid, and I remember we got to Tindral, and then there was a hotfix that nerfed Odin's Fury by 15% because of people running fucking Amir Driscoll tier in pre-patch.
Yeah, it just they don't really seem to have any bandwidth for Warrior being broken, but Mage can sit broken for a long time and be fine. And DK and many other classes, but we're banned from it. Otherwise, it was kind of okay. Them gutting Reckless Abandon and Titan's Torment going into Undermine was certainly a choice, and just leaving them dead for the rest of the expansion. That was something for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the weirder things about what the changes, I guess, to the class, is that I did that previous video why warrior players are sad, and in one of the sections it was all of these talents that were changed or modified, and all of them were changed or modified to just be like almost untakeable or unusable or bad. It's like, why? What is the actual point of like remaking these talents and them just being completely and utterly useless?
Yeah, it's like the same thing that happened with Unbridled Ferocity too. It was like massively overtuned from 10.0.5 onward. This is in Dragonflight. And then they get to War Within, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna shoot it in the fucking head and leave it that way for the entire expansion. And it's like been one of the lowest value capstones we've had all expansion. And that's even amongst like other capstones that are like active DPS losses. Like,
and speaking of capstones, the continued our capstones aren't even good, and they still get nerfed. Thunderous Roar, as an example, they nerfed it, and once again, paying for the Ansurek tier, even nerfed the bleed amp on it while it was active. Like, our capstones just don't seem to be allowed to be great for some reason. It's very, very odd.
I mean, it's really wacky.
They haven't been good since the talent rework in Dragonflight. Like, none of them have been good.
I feel like Unbridled Ferocity was pretty good when like Onslaught was on it. Like, that was kind of nuts. But
I guess, but
and like
compared
there was
to,
also
like-
Hurricane. Hurricane was pretty good as well. But like, I mean, yeah, they're just underwhelming, regardless of whether or not they're even like
Just
numerically
compared to,
strong.
like-
It's just boring.
yeah, it's
I
just
think
compared to like other stuff, yeah.
The
Yeah.
only good thing we got, I'm pretty sure, was Unhinged. And even then, they had to nerf that too.
Yeah. Unhinged could have been so cool. It could have been, and it was for like most of War Within beta. It was like really sick. There was like some cringe stuff about it. Like for Fury, you had to like make sure you went in with full Whirlwind buff before you press Blade Storm, which like kind of threw a wrench into things. It was like a little bit annoying. But oh my god, the fact that you could like on 5 targets cleave 4 Bloodthirsts that all had like a 67% chance to proc Reap. Like, you could easily just RNG 4 Reap procs and you would fucking crank. And it felt so good. And this was like reported for all of beta, and they never fixed it until the game went live, and then they just randomly rug pulled it.
And moving from Ansurek over to Liberation of Undermine, one of the... Once again, going into the niche of the class of warrior, not even Fury now for its AoE prowess, but our execute-centric prowess in arms, just right before the tier came out, with 2 very important execute-centric bosses in One-Armed Bandit and Muggsy, simply, once again, shot 15% nerf to execute before the tier even came out. Completely killing, like, it didn't necessarily kill Arms' like value, but it certainly almost removed its actual potential to be valuable, especially in the race. You saw Echo playing. I think Echo played both Walllife and Revez as their warriors for both Muggsy and what's the last boss's name, man?
Gallywix.
Gallywix. Yeah, you saw him play there. But then on the winning side for Liquid, they just played more Windwalker monks before it got nerfed. You didn't need the class at all. Prot was incredible. It did so much damage. Prot itself did so much execute damage too. So whenever you weren't tanking the boss, you were doing a very sizable amount of some of that execute niche from the tank role.
It's so funny too, because like Liquid went into Gallywix playing Wolf Disco on the warrior. And then, like, 4 pulls before they kill, they just swap him out for a mage. And then the mage has literally 0 pull experience and kills it in 4. Like...
And it's just because it's a mage that all they had to do was carry a bomb the whole fight, have infinite defensives, cheat death, like...
Yep.
Incredible ending to the race, where THD is quite literally visibly confused that the boss is dead. Very weird tier
for warrior. I see like a lot of people saying like, oh yeah, warrior performed high on statistics, but it's like none of the bosses were actually good for warrior. It's just we had like insane tuning. We were just tuned really high, but you couldn't play us on any fights because we didn't meet any requirements.
We
It's
just
like
we
we're
lost
just like
the
a
niche
vanilla
in
spec that
Anthem.
does damage. Yeah, we lost the only niche we had.
We've turned into Outlaw Rogue.
Pretty much, actually. Outlaw Rogue is like we're basically just vanilla ice cream. We do what we do pretty good and do nothing else very well. Like, I don't know. It's like really boring and cringe to like not have an identity at all in Raid.
Yeah, we just show up and do damage, and like, I think that's almost the theme, really, of Warrior this entire expansion, where our class was there and had potential, at least for the first two raids, between the AoE burst niche in Ansurek and then the potential execute niche in Liberation of Undermine. Even if it wasn't valuable on the last boss, having at least some form of goal or niche to really fit into would have been great, but they were both killed before they were even really valuable. I mean, you still played multiple warriors on Ansurek, so it's not like it was murdered, but it was still good.
No.
But but towards Mythic Plus, at least, it definitely killed its potential there.
Yeah. And it also presented like a problem to Blizzard that they had to like rectify, or else like raid design would suffer, or like tuning would suffer going forward. And it's like, I don't know, man. Surely there's a way for you to fix this without actually just like shooting it in the head. Because it's like at the same time, there's other classes just did the exact same thing, like Windwalker Monk in Undermine did the exact same thing, and like never got touched for it.
They got an aura nerf, I believe,
and Enhancement Shaman in Nerevar and Undermine. I'm pretty sure.
And then Ellie got buffed, and then it was Ellie in Nerevar.
Yeah, there's just like 5 million specs that can do the exact same thing, but like for some reason we're like hard banned from it.
And then we move on to. Or is there anything you wanted to add about those tiers, Gajil? We've kind of been talking over you a little bit.
Oh no, you guys are good. I was like just kind of like for a quick recap for me, everything up to this point, just like this like pre-patch. So excited for this expansion because we didn't get a lot of changes, but like what we did get was really fun. And like Bladestorm coming back to Fury was like a big. That's really big for me because that's like my favorite ability in the game. So having that come back to Fury was really exciting. And just going into it just was going to be like really fun. Like it was like almost like a lot of dreams were coming true again, and it was like exciting to be a warrior again, to like have good AoE damage or like having a real burst again. And then 10 minutes into pre-patch we catch a nerf. Not even raids, not even out, we catch a nerf. Heroic week we catch a nerf. The week after we catch a nerf. And then I think there was one more after that. So getting nerfed like 5 times in a row before like really getting to take off. And like we did a little bit in Heroic Week just because of, we have a really strong AoE burst that plummets after 5 seconds on timers on a timer that lines up with the raid mechanics. It's like a perfect storm of like, holy crap, this is going to be really fun. And then we're punished for it. And then it just like it was like what was hopeful dreams turned into shattered fucking nightmares. And it like, I don't know, for me personally, like it destroyed, like I completely gave up in season 1. I played so bad on the last boss because I just like my mental was destroyed. Season 2 was like we didn't have anything. I don't know. There's just nothing memorable from season 2. Like it was kind of fun to hit demolish and keys, but that's about it. Like the execute nerf ruined performance in raid. Fury did no fucking damage till the end after it was gear capped. Like I don't know. It was just not good. This expansion was, like I said, it was looking so hopeful from the beginning, and it turned into a nightmare very quickly.
And then now, to even cap off the expansion, we look towards Manaforge Omega, which, in theory, our class is good. Everything looks fine, things work well, we do good damage, but simply put, we got turned into outlaw rogues. Our damage profile was so static, we have, once again, 0 burst to really do anything with. And then now so many bosses that were important between Araz, Nexus King, and Demensis all had very, very, very important damage amps that just simply took us out of the equation. With Prot Warrior also still being incredible and even better with the revamped talents they got for their class tree, it made us even less valuable. And like numerically, right? Numerically, we're doing good. You know, there's not really that much of a problem going on for us. But simply put, in season 1, the fight design dictated that we were too big, and then now the fight design has dictated that we have no burst. Like, we have literally, if the fight design's good for us, we get nerfed. If the fight design's bad for us, we get benched. So Mana Forge has definitely been a very bad tier. Well, I don't know. The thematics and the weapons and all of it was pretty good, but for Warrior, it's been Warrior DPS specifically been very, very mediocre, and certainly not fun. Just being an undesirable class this tier.
Yeah, it's like kind of weird too, because like we've kind of followed like an inverse pattern compared to like where we were in like season 1, season 2, where like we started off this tier really, really weak, and then we got a bug fix like 3 weeks in, and like all of a sudden we're like actually gods. And I'm like fairly confident that if that bug fix had been in from week 1, like you probably would have seen 1 to 2 warriors on like every single fight, just because the Reap, the like 4 set is just fucking insane for like every single fight.
But the bug fix came in. Well,
Yeah,
the thing
it
that's
was
very weird about
kind
the
of
bug fix is it
late.
doesn't just work for. It wasn't just our tier set. It also works for Hack and Slash now too. So now we have infinite Raging Blow in AoE on top of having Raging Blow work. Also, I got a question. Would you guys want to drag Big Bowl in here? He's asking to
Yeah,
join.
sure.
That's fine.
Do
Yeah.
one of you have him added to add to this? Zan, do you?
Let me see.
Because I don't have him
Doc.
added on Discord.
I don't either. 1 second.
How do I?
Oh wow,
add-
I definitely clicked that, but it didn't work. Okay. I sent him a friend request.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
surprised I don't have him added already, to be honest.
he's watching
but-
through stream, so he should add you, and then you can just add him to this, I believe. And then here, I'll
Yeah.
add. And
Oh, there we go. All right. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
I just
how's it
realized
going?
I said your name is NevoDK when it's NevDoc.
Nevdoc.
Was that a classic like 2008 random character creation auto-suggested name?
Oh, that was
Oh,
actually my
thank you.
first one. My first one was Xandarid. That was my first character in
Hell yeah.
World of Warcraft. It was auto-generated name. Obviously human male.
Mine was also
Got it.
auto-generated, but it was
W.
human night elf. Or
Human
human night elf,
night
by
elf.
the way. Night elf Mel. Wow.
He's
dude's
hacking?
crazy. Yeah,
Well,
hacking.
I mean, you've heard us so far. What are your opinions from, I guess, from the start of the War Within, Nev?
I mean, I think gameplay-wise, like frankly, both specs are kind of fine. Like the actual like moment-to-moment gameplay, I think is mostly fine. I think people don't really have many complaints about that. It's just like you were saying earlier, creating fights that don't really play to our strengths. Like that's fine, I think. Like having fights where different classes shine, I think is a good thing. But then having fights where we don't show, well, I'm like the one fight that we shine on is Fractalus, and that fight doesn't matter at all. So like that's kind of whatever. Like our niche just kind of hasn't really been met. Let's see, what was the first year? I mean, I guess you could say like Arms 2 target on fucking Silken Court season 1 maybe had some niche, but like I don't know. I think people in general are pretty okay with like the literal moment to moment gameplay, but like there's nothing really that's stood out for warriors this expansion in terms of raid at least, and obviously like Mythic Plus, we've never been meta. Probably the closest we are to meta is right now, and we're still not meta. But I think the main issue that I have and that a lot of other people have is like we just kind of press our buttons. Like there's no like gameplay goal. There's no like skill expression. I mean, there is some skill expression, obviously, but like, you know, if you look at the gameplay of a really good warrior and a pretty good warrior, like they kind of look the same because there's not really much to it other than just like pressing your buttons. So that's one thing that I was really looking for in the midnight updates was like addressing kind of the simplicity of things and like giving us more to work for, not necessarily in like moment to moment stuff, but just like higher level design stuff. And then yeah, like you were saying earlier, like fight design and like even Mythic Plus to some extent, like designing around things that we can do well. Not every fight, obviously, but like, you know, having moments where it's like, oh man, a warrior's so good here, you know? Like I don't think that we've had that since I've been playing really, which is start of Dragonflight.
I feel like most
like,
of that comes down to randomly being able to like spell reflect the auto attack on the last boss of what was the
Halls
it was
of Infusion.
well, no, it wasn't even Halls of Infusion. It was the
Nelf Slayer. I don't know. There's been a lot of those.
it was the dungeon last season where it was like goblins and the first boss was like the crowd pummeler guy.
Talking about Motherload.
Yeah, Motherload. Where like it feels like most of our potential Mythic Plus niche has to deal with being able to randomly reflect something that maybe shouldn't be able to. That
So
like
I feel
provides
like
a lot of
anytime,
value.
Like anytime a flat damage profile with like primary target damage plus cleave, anytime that's good, Outlaw just does it better, right?
or Fire Mage.
Or Fire Mage, yeah. I should back up my previous statement. We were very good at Brood Twister, and then they shot us in the face, and we've been paying for those sins for the next year.
Insurrect as well.
Crashing on.
Oh yeah, Ansarek as well.
Crashing on.
So like we were still very, very good, and I think our timings worked out well in Ansarek even after the nerfs, but we still weren't Frosty K.
Yeah,
No.
that's true. And like even now, like numerically, we're really good. At least Fury's really good. I think Arms is like the worst spec in the game. If you look at the Warcraft blogs rankings, but like I was saying, it's not. There's nothing that you're working towards. There's nothing that you're like really differentiating yourself with, or like if you're doing prep for a raid fight, right? Like, are you planning your cooldowns, or are you just saying like, yeah, man, I'll press Avatar and do a little bit more damage sometimes?
You basically just use shit on CD, and if you
Right.
notice that ads are coming up, then you pray that they're up in time for ads. And like,
Right.
that's kind of it.
You follow your rotation, and that's kind of it.
Or if you want to pad, you then hold Blade Storm to hit ads instead of just sending it on boss and then getting 30 seconds of CD worth before the ad pops back out. Like I don't know, this like I like the Slayer gameplay. Excuse me. But the fact that it feels like we don't really have any meaningful timings anymore, because Rec is on its own CD, Blade Storm is on its own CD, and then Avatar is on its own CD. None of these things, unless you do it like hold specifically, don't really line up anymore, because they're just on their own rotations and have different things that impact their cooldowns individually. So it almost just feels like you're literally just pressing buttons. And one of the things that's always very kind of weirded me out about Fury, specifically this expansion, is how weak Rampage is. Like, I feel like Rampage has always been on the lower end of our damage, and that just seems very, very odd considering what it's supposed to be for the spec. And even now, Raging at the beginning, actually no, I was thinking about Dragonflight where we did Crushing Blow, but even then, like, Raging Blow is our top damage. It's very odd to have a builder be your top damage for a spec, and weirdly enough, that's kind of the skill expression where it's like, hey, you need to know that you just overcap Rage and don't press Rampage sometimes, and that's the skill expression. It's very, very odd.
I think that like especially is one of their broader class design goals with Midnight is like making things intuitive, making things easy to learn. But with the current state of at least Fury on Alpha, I haven't really looked that much into ARMS. Like you're still kind of ignoring Rampage. Like I think the intuitive kind of approach to class design is like you use your spender when you can use your spender, and then you have kind of a priority of your builders, right? Like that's how I would expect most classes to behave. And with Fury currently, that's not really the case. With Fury on Alpha, it's definitely not the case. So it's like you say that these are your design goals, and then you're just not actually doing those things.
Well, one of the things I find very odd, like looking at Fury inside of the alpha class tree, is how many talents are just buffing other. It's like it turned into Arms Warrior, where every button buffs another button, which I mean is supposed to promote, like, I guess flexible gameplay, or like everything you do matters or something. But it just seems really weird where your executes are buffing your rampages, like your raging blows are buffing your bloodthirst, your bloodthirsts are buffing your raging blows. But then we're also getting to the point where when I've been messing with the class tree earlier today, I've admittedly not done as much like footwork as far as like the class trees are looking, because I've kind of been waiting for Apex talents and class tree talents. But I'm looking at it, and it's so very. Both of our trees are all very bulky towards the top, and then for Fury specifically, everything's just kind of buffing each other. Whereas previously, I liked the fact that Mountain Thane, hey, your Bloodthirst. Slayer, hey, your Raging Blow Execute, right? Where you're kind of like, there's like a theme of what's going on and how you can like work things out. But with how the tree is working now, where you're just kind of cross buffing everything and it wants you to press everything, it feels like you're not really doing much of anything. You're just hitting buttons, if that makes any sense.
It's basically the same as it is now, but with even less like complexity in terms of like what you press and when, which is like kind of insane because Fury was already like incredibly simple, and like they somehow made it even more simple to the point where it's like you're probably gonna just get brain damage playing this class. Like you're gonna lose brain cells. It's really bad.
And what's crazy to me is they made it more simple by making it more complex. Like they
Yeah.
stated that they don't want you to have to track like these little buffs, like blood craze stacks. That's not actually one of the examples. Or like Ashen Juggernaut maybe is a better example. Like they don't want you to have, executes a low priority unless this specific buff state, in which case it's a high priority. And they just add all of these like X buffs Y talents, where like there's only two cases. Like either the buffs are so insignificant that you don't care about them, in which case, like you said, like it's so simple, like you just press the buttons that you were going to press anyways, or the buffs are powerful enough that they do matter, and then you have a situation like we do with Execute now, where you have to track all of these things, and that's like specifically something that they said that they didn't want you to do.
It's like we've got an Arcane Barrage weak aura for Execute conditional. Also, is it just me? I'm looking at the difference between the two trees. Do we have more 2-point nodes now
Yes.
in the Fury tree? Because one thing I've been messing around with is trying to build out a tree, but like in trying to build out this tree, there's a lot of gray here. There's a lot of things I don't really get to take. I don't know what's best for damage, but like,
yeah,
having in the upper middle of the tree being 2 points is like why are these 2 points here? They used to be 1 point. We're also forced into taking fresh meat if we want focused in chaos, which we do a lot of auto attack damage now.
Yeah, it's our tree is definitely one of the trees of all time. I assume we're moving on from Manaforge Omega.
Yeah, I mean, is there? It kind of got sidetracked, but is there anything else anyone wanted to add about? I guess the end of War Within and Manaforge before we move on to like Beta Midnight or PTR Midnight stuff.
Plot profile is kind of boring, but it's nice getting a real tier set for a change because we haven't had one of those for a while. And I don't give a shit how many people like Dragonflight Season 3. That shit was stupid as fuck.
Yeah, I think the season tier sets were pretty well received by just about everyone.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I have to say is like, please, for the love of Christ, put the 2-piece Slayer set into the Slayer tree. Like, please.
Well, the gameplay is going to feel much worse without
It's
Slayer
so
Strike
bad.
cycling.
It literally feels like you're walking through sludge.
That's
but yeah, that's about it.
Actually, speaking of that, even look, I guess we can use that to go into the midnight stuff. The lack of any of our tier sets showing up is kind of weird. Like any of our tier sets, like actually, like the Demon Hunter throw glaive thing that showed up. People love that. Like the arms
yeah.
execute thunderclapping and spreading bleeds. People love that.
Okay, to be fair, we actually did get tier sets, right? Because we got Scent of Blood. Rampage increases the damage of your next Bloodthirst by 10%, stacking 2 times. That's like, it's either Nerebar or Undermine. And then we also got the other one. Where is it? Fuck, I can't find it. Oh yeah, Bloodthirst critical strikes increase the damage of Raging Blow by 10% for 4 seconds. That's like also basically a Nerebar Undermine tier set. So like, we did get tier sets. They're just like really bad and stinky poopy dog shit.
So I guess if we're gonna focus on Fury, we'll focus on Fury first.
Arms probably got something like that too. Although I haven't looked at Arms very much because it's boring to me.
Fury just seems like. Actually, no. Let's start with the class tree. I guess that's a better place to start as far as like Midnight is concerned. So Battlefield Commander and Piercing Howl giving move speed and just buffing our damage flat. That kind of owns. That's really cool. And the fact that Rally also gives Leech is also pretty cool. It makes it feel like an actual cooldown.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say like, "Oh yeah, Leech on Rally is like super overrated." I feel like they're like a little bit silly. I'm not gonna say dumb because some of the people I respect, but like saying Leech on Rally is bad is like super short-sighted. I think.
So I mean, it's OP for healers too, because if healers are healing everybody, then all of that healing goes to them. Like it's really really good, and having the utility of Piercing Howl, just to do a short move speed buff, that's going to be great in dungeons. It's going to be a very nice. It's going to be great in a raid. I mean, I think that is honestly probably one of the better talents they added. But in the shuffle, I don't know. They're turning Rend into an AoE ability, which is really weird. I'm not sure where we're sitting on that. Like, do you think we're going to be taking Rend for Fury? Like, I don't know.
Almost certainly. But I'm kind of hoping that
yes.
I'm kind of hoping it just gets shot in the head and we never have to think about it, because that would be really bad.
Yeah, I'm in the camp of we need to go back to Miss of Pandoria. Just remove Ren from the fucking game, please. It's a stupid ability that shouldn't be in the game. It does no fucking damage and it's just annoying to use. Like, just take it out.
Because
it's also weird that like Rend is just kind of better than Blood and Thunder. So like potentially Thane might even play it because Blood and Thunder is capped. Like obviously there's the opportunity cost of like spending a GCD on applying Rend, but like I don't know. I feel like they swung too far in the direction of making Rend useful, and just made like Blood and Thunder, or potentially just not taking either of them, not really an option. Which is, I don't know, just weird.
I still don't know why there's a cap on Blood and Thunder in the live game. Like, why is there a cap on it?
It's alright.
Also, like, has fake smart targeting where like of the capped targets that it hits, it won't even like prioritize ones that don't already have Rend.
Why in an expansion from over a decade ago I can spread Rend to every target and I can't now? Why?
It took them 2 expansions to uncap.
Like, I'm not even like a fan of like the way that it worked in Cataclysm, because it's like an extra global and it's a little clunky, but at least it gave you the ability to spread it to every target. Like, which all it was is you just had to manually rend something and then you thunderclap and then it applies rend to every target. It's a little clunky, but it's like at least it allows you to actually spread your dot. Whereas, now we obviously can't do that. Just why? It's just a dumb limitation that just feels like it's only there just to, the devs just like to kick us in the balls, I guess.
It just feels like, well, it's had rend since forever, then
Well, it's like
kind of
if
thing.
Ren did high damage, like if it did like an absurd amount of damage, to where it's like that's why you can't spread it because it does so much damage. Like that's fine, but like it doesn't. So it doesn't do any damage. So why can't we spread it to everything at least? Like it just doesn't make sense. Like we're not in either conditional to where it makes sense.
I mean, it took them 2 expansions to uncap Intimidating Shout for Mythic Plus, so maybe next expansion, I don't know.
Just remove Ren from the game, please. Like Deep Wounds is fine, and like the for change to that is fine, but like just remove Ren from the game.
I do think that the Intimidating Shout change was really good. I think that the state of Intimidating Shout previously was so abysmal that them like finally making it a real button is good. I also think the Piercing Howl change, like I know people have saying that they want Warrior to have Lust for like forever, but I think that having like a haste or a move speed buff as their like feature utility is much better, just because a lot fewer classes have that. Um, Also, I always forget to use Lust when I play alts, but like I don't know, there's like what 15 specs in the game that bring Lust, and there's like 4 that bring a move speed buff, especially on such a low cooldown and with such a large radius as Piercing Howl. And like I know in raid, you're almost always going to be stacked if you need like a roar, wind rush or something. But in Mythic Plus, not so much. So I think that's a really good change as well.
My only counter argument to you there is that while giving Warrior Lust is not going to do anything for raid, it will certainly help a lot for keys. As like a key
I mean, like
player,
how often do you actually like
because
need a
okay,
Lust class though? Like if you're
so
bugging.
okay, well, like I'm talking real keys too, and it's like the classes that bring Lust, the only one that works with Warrior is Hunter. Unless you're playing Enhance, which even then it's still not great. You're like pigeonholed into playing a Hunter for Fizz comps, and I think that's a fucking problem.
You can play
Because
Resto Shaman, right?
Yeah, but then you're forced into Arsham, whereas like Druid is usually a lot better. I don't know. Like I think that giving Warrior Lust would help a lot for keys specifically. It's not going to do anything for raid, obviously, but like saying that it wouldn't help at all is just incorrect.
Well, I'm not saying that it wouldn't help at all.
No,
I just think if
no.
they're
I'm not
going to
saying
give
that
us
you did.
utility, I think giving us utility that is
Yeah,
shared by fewer other specs
yeah.
is more valuable.
I'm not putting words in your mouth by saying that you're saying that. I just have seen that a lot. Like a lot of people say that giving Warrior Lust wouldn't help at all in keys, and that's just flat out wrong. Like
I think they're scared to give Warrior Lust because it would be the only tank with it. I think that's the reason why it doesn't have it.
I mean, you could just lock it out of Prot specifically. They could easily do that. I don't know, but it's just like trying to like play keys with friends and like needing to fill a lust. It just gets really annoying really quickly because if you're playing any kind of caster comp, it's not gonna. It's so much easier to get it because mage, but like when you're trying to play a fizz comp with melee and you don't have a shaman, you're forced into a hunter, and it makes it very awkward. I don't know. I think that's a fucking problem. But that's just my opinion. I do really like the movement speed stuff though. That's really good, and especially like yeah, in a melee comp too. That's really helpful. Like there's a lot of shit right now, even the current season having like a another wind rush essentially would help a lot. Like last boss of eco, saw blades for fucking flood trash. Like there's a lot of movement this season. So like having that right now would definitely help a lot too. So it is good. I do agree with you there.
There's some like pretty other like tangentially related stuff to our class tree, kind of, or like not things that happened with our class tree but affected our class tree, like stun DRs, basically like not getting removed but like getting nerfed to the point where they kind of are irrelevant. They like benefit Warrior a fucking shit ton.
The
Yeah, it's also
the amount of time
yeah.
I'm watching Gajeel play with a certain Havoc DH that uses Chaos Nova on CD for souls, and then everything's stun DR'd and they can't actually stop anything because their kicks are down. Because
Yeah. I mean, like it's just like we have like the shortest AoE stun in the game, and now like the mobs won't go stun immune, which is like that's fucking crazy for us. and I don't know if you guys talked about it. I had to go like grab something from the kitchen for a minute. But like, if Spear does what everyone thinks it should do and actually pixel stack stuff, like that's gonna be pretty insane. Not necessarily an M plus, but like probably pretty good there. But like, it's gonna be fucking crazy in raid.
I mean, that's a master, if I can tell you, is really good for keys.
Yeah, like it's. I don't 100% know like all of the applications that it'll have in keys. Like, I mean, grips are just good in general.
A lot
But,
of
like,
the
if-
stuff I think, yeah, a lot of the stuff I think about, I just like DPS Warrior just needs not only love and raid, but I think it needs more love for keys because that shit has been meta one season, and that was like 8 years ago. Fury has literally never been a meta choice for Mythic Plus once, and there's been like 30 seasons or something. Like, I think that's an issue. And a lot of the time, I mean, there's been periods where Fury is good in keys. Like right now is one of them. Fury is really good in keys right now, but it's
say
not a
season
meta choice.
3.
But it's not a meta choice. Dragonflight Season 1 is another example where it's really good in keys, but it's not a meta choice.
First half of Dragonflight Season 2 as well.
Oh yeah,
like-
before AUG was added to the game, that is
Before
true.
AUG ruined the game, yeah.
And ARMS, the only time it's ever been meta is during the
Tomb.
first, like, basically, like, the first real season of Mythic Plus in Tomb.
It was
Because, like,
whatever season that was. It was like, I guess season 2 technically of Legion.
yeah.
Or if you want to count Emerald Nightmare as season 1 and Nighthold as season 2, then it would be season 3. But yeah, it's just basically during Tomb of Sargeras because of the set bonus. Because it
And,
was so,
like-
I mean, basically unhinged. It's just the set bonus was unhinged, but it allowed you to cleave it. It was cleavable, and it was disgusting. Like ARMS will never be that good again. That was the strongest point in the game for ARMS Warriors, and it's not close. Other than like maybe Mists of Pandaria, like specifically PVE, Obviously, ARMS is like historically really fucking strong. One of the strongest things in the game for PvP, obviously, just because of how it works. But yeah, PvE specifically, like Raid, Mythic Plus.
Well, let's talk about I mean, they're released today, so obviously there's not like too much thought put into them yet. But the new Apex talents for Fury.
We just like do Fury. Like ARMS is fine. Like we don't need to talk about it. Like it's cool. They got Heroic Strike, Poggers, Mop, like Epic. But like, oh my god, is Fury fucking bad?
Yeah, I mean, we could just send it because one of the things that's also kind of awkward about like the PTR cycles is there's a lot going on, but there's not too much to talk about either. Like we kind of almost glazed over most of what was the War Within, simply put, because there wasn't much to talk about. Like our class was either decent and then nerfed into the ground, or had no niche, or just mediocre. Like there wasn't really much to talk about.
No, it's
Yeah,
just
War
like
Within-
kind of cool that we do damage now.
Yeah, like I said, War Within looked really exciting, turned into a nightmare very quickly, and it is now just we're kind of just waking up a little bit with like a good tier set for fucking once. It's a little bit boring with a flat damage profile, but anyone saying we aren't effective that's just wrong. Like we are a good spec right now. We are a good class right now. We might not be the greatest because we're not good on damage amps, which is like kind of the thing with this tier with like half the fights, but we still do good damage. Rally sucks balls, but whatever. What can you do?
So now, here's the new Apex talent. Have you seen them yet, Gil? Have you looked at them?
Yeah.
During Recklessness, critical strikes fuel your thirst for blood, getting you a stack of Rampaging Berserker. Increases your strength by 1% per stack and lasts 20 seconds after Recklessness ends. Like, so we got rid of Hurricane. Nobody played Test of Might anymore, and now we have this. And it's specifically crits during Recklessness, which probably have some form of ICD involved, so you can't stack it too quickly.
It does, but the ICD is like irrelevant.
Is it just an ICDs to prevent like Rampage proccing it twice kind of thing?
It's like critting all 4 hits of Rampage and critting auto attacks at the same time. So it's like you get 6 stacks in a second or something. Like, I don't know.
It does have an ICD, but it's like irrelevant. It is 0.1 seconds. Did I already say that, by the way? I like thought it, but I don't know if I said it.
You said part
said
of
it
it.
had an ICD, but not what the value was.
Yeah, it's 0.1 seconds, so it's like kind of irrelevant.
So you can proc it multiple times off of one Rampage, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
those hits are
It says it has
long.
100 MS cooldown on the tooltip.
Yeah, that's 0.1 second. So new lore, it procs off of auto attack crits, but not bleed crits.
I love auto attacks. I love taking 3 talents that buff my auto attacks.
Well, something that's weird for, I guess, for Fury now is they're really trying to push crit for Fury, which leaves not much room for the other stats. So, like, are we going to become,
by the way?
like,
I do not mind that.
are we going to become like a mastery crit with Frenzy, like Frenzied
So-
Enrage? Maybe I think that might be fun.
That's what the stat priority was for like the longest time, and that's one thing that I wanted to say earlier that's been frustrating the last 2 or 3 expansions is you can't play both specs with one set of gear. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Like you can, but to be actually effective, you need 2 sets of gear to be viable for every fight in the raid if you're multi-specking, which I think is bullshit. And we haven't shared, like, Arms and Fury have not shared a stat priority since BFA. And up until
I guess we were like
no,
crit haste
BFA
kind of,
was BFA was the same. You could play both Arms and Fury with one gear set in BFA for sure because you were crit and haste. You cared more about mastery on Fury than you did Arms, but like you could easily swap that around with like a couple pieces of gear. Whereas like right now you need like 2 fucking full sets of gear to play both effectively.
Because the amount of haste
And that-
mastery you need. Sorry, good.
Yeah, no, it's just like that's pretty much it. Like it just hasn't been a thing. Whereas like historically through like this entire game's history, like we've been able to play both with one set of gear, like all of Cataclysm, like Wrath, like everything. You shared the same stats. So you just needed to know how to play both specs, and that's one thing I can appreciate with them trying to make crit valuable again. Like they're probably gonna fuck it up, but like it is the correct direction, I think. And it just I don't know. I miss being able to just play both of with one gear set because it's just frustrating.
My
Like
my
Arab,
only
like-
like counterpoint to that is not like I think making crit good is fine. I think comparatively devaluing haste is not great. Mostly just because like the headcanon class fantasy of a Fury Warrior is like fast, right? So moving away from prioritizing haste as like one of our better stats, I think takes away from that. And like buffing crit kind of inherently moves away from haste being prioritized. I think both Arms and Fury being crit haste would be fine because like frankly Fury Mastery is boring. Like Enrage uptime is so high that the Mastery is just kind of a flat damage buff, which is like some 2007 kind of shit.
It's been like that. The Fury Mastery has literally never changed. It's been the same since they put it in the game.
But also, if Enrage uptime sucks, then like it feels bad. So I think they kind of painted themselves into a corner with that. See, my disagreement isn't that crit should be good; it's that haste shouldn't be bad.
Now, I see what you're saying.
I think crit and haste are probably like the 2 most interesting stats. Like they're the 2 most transformative, or like potentially transformative. Mastery is just like you said, it's versatility but better, right? Like you get more points of it per point of stat.
Because I see versatility is kind of like a boring PvP stat. I definitely think they could either just nerf or simply change the Fury Mastery to push it both towards haste and crit.
All right, hear me
But
out. New Mastery, your auto attacks are faster during Enrage.
Okay, I can't tell if this is a bit or like if this is.
Here's the problem. You have too many +% increases to your auto attacks in both in the class and skill tree, where you might still want more of it, and it could be your top damage depending on how they tune it. That would be awful.
I'm wondering if it's a bit because like That was literally what Warrior Enrage did, like in Legion, and maybe before that. I'm not really sure, but I didn't play
It's just
Warrior before that. But like, it literally just increased auto attack speed by 100%, and obviously it had the damage effect on it too. But that's what it did before it gave haste.
yeah, bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back. By the way, I love auto
I'm not-
attacks doing my damage.
I'm not trolling. Bring it back.
No, dude.
I feel like this recklessness, like this Apex talent to give you percent strength, is their attempt to actually give Fury a cooldown. And
Man, it's a bad
But-
fucking attempt. We are like the worst strength scaling spec in the game.
but it's also
it doesn't give you the damage
scaling.
during your cooldown. It gives you your damage after the cooldown.
Well, it does both. But yeah, it's like the biggest bonus is going to be after your cooldown expires, so it's like kind of fucking bad.
and that
Yeah,
it's
I don't
tied
know.
to Rec instead of Avatar as well. I mean
Well,
technically
I think
makes
that's
Avatar a
fine.
choice. It makes Avatar a choice node, but like, dude, our spec tree is, we are drowning in needing points. Like, there's so many 2-point nodes. There are so many like small
like,
nodes and things we should
If
be
I'm
able to
being
skip.
honest, like, yeah, we have a lot of 2-point nodes, but like, what do you even want to spend the talent points on anyways? Because like, all of our capstones are dog shit, and like 90% of our other talents are also dog shit.
Oh, we could talk about our brand new capstone that is frankly worthless in kill or be killed, something no one
Hey.
should take ever.
Actually, one more thing to add. We still don't know if Unbridled Ferocity, if you like proc it during the like the Rampaging Berserker strength buff, we don't know if it refreshes the buff and continues to add its own stacks or overwrites it.
Oh,
And
so you
depending on which one of those it does, it can be really fucking bad, like anti-synergistic bad.
So you could get a big strength stacking buff from Rec with the Apex talents at like 30-40%, and then you end your Rec, and then you get a Rec proc and instantly just lose all that strength bonus. I mean,
There is potential for that to happen.
Ooh, yeah. I feel like the intended effect is that like maybe it should stack on itself.
It could work like
But-
Iron Fur. I think Iron Fur would probably be like not the best outcome, but like the most agreeable one between players and developers. Like obviously players who just want it to be like, oh yeah, it updates the buff duration and keeps your stacks. So
I
like
mean,
you
if
could
it-
potentially have like an infinite stacking thing forever.
If
But-
it iron furs, then and they buff the numerical value from like 1% to something higher, then that
Yeah, like
does
5%
emphasize
or
actually
some
making
shit.
the Rec itself better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that seems
Yeah,
like a
no,
pretty good
it'd be
change
cool.
to me, right?
If it Iron Furred, that would be good. You know, it wouldn't be the first Iron Fur mechanic we have. Obviously, like Frenzy got changed from having like a target requirement to being Iron Fur, so I could get down with it. But also, I mean, my biggest issue with it is that it buffs strength, and strength, unless they are planning on fixing like Fury's, specifically Fury's dog shit main stat scaling, I will never be excited about this ever.
They're
Especially
never
with
gonna.
them buffing crit.
They're
Yeah.
never gonna remove that because it exists because of Titan's grip. They're never
Yeah.
gonna change that.
Yeah, so I mean, as long as it's strength, I'm unhappy. Even if it was like damage percent, or better yet, maybe make it actually synergize and make it give percent crit or some shit.
like crit
Or,
damage,
like,
maybe.
crit damage, or like make it give crit and then like make the
Well, if it's crit damage, it's gonna suck balls at the beginning of the expansion, but it'll be good at the end. Whereas if it's crit chance, it's gonna be good at the beginning of the expansion, but worse at the end.
sure,
So I
make it
think
give
that's
both.
just-
I don't really give a
or
fuck.
both.
But like, surely there's something you can do that's better than fucking percent main stat. Something that you literally don't feel. You don't see any change in your rotation. Like you see nothing in the change of the numbers. Like they go up a little bit, and that's about it. I don't know. It's just cringe.
I don't know. That's my second character that's I've played as long as my warrior has been a Frost DK. I'm not excited to play Breath of Cinderghost on my warrior. No, thank you. Please rework it.
Except that like you can at least use breath during your pillar window. This it's like you use your breath and then you get pillar after your breath ends. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's old. It's old pillar now. It's ramping. It's terrible. Any kind of ramping cooldown is just not good.
Also, the middle Apex nodes reducing the cost of Rampage kills anger management. I mean, not kills it, but like
It's
what?
anti-synergetic to the recycling nature of Fury's gameplay.
Yeah, and like maybe that's something that they want to avoid is like having anger management be like a forced talent choice. But like again, what I was saying earlier with gameplay goals, like for a long time, Fury's one like gameplay goal is like being efficient with your resource usage, not overcapping rage so that you can get more blade storms, more recklessness from your anger management. And this, it's like, yeah, fuck it. Like if I rampage or if I don't, doesn't really matter because anger management nerfed, recklessness nerfed, and then also the rage cost is reduced here.
And the amount of rage we're getting is also cut in half from Rec as well.
Yeah, yeah. Like if I miss 2 globals, right, from or if I delay my rampage 2 globals, that's probably a mistake. But like, am I gonna get punished for it? Absolutely not. Um, Especially like during recklessness, which is when it feels like resource management should be the most important as opposed to the least important. I don't know. Very weird. I have a lot of issues that are capstones in general too.
They've been pretty bad for a long time.
And they killed Thunderous Roar. They finally said, enough of an ability you guys don't even press.
I mean,
So-
I'm fine with them
Yeah.
removing Roar. It's a terrible button anyway. It's only good in Mythic Plus.
Yep,
It gets
W.
worse every raid reset that goes by. Your cooldown gets worse in the raid because then shit doesn't live long enough for it to deal damage. I'm totally fine with them gutting that and just getting rid of it.
Well, something I guess it's a little off topic about Warrior specifically, but I guess still is kind of pertinent, is the Scorched Earth policy on weak auras and add-ons going into Midnight as well is probably something worth talking about, because once again, speaking on the nature of all of these little upkeep buffs and this, that, and the other thing, I guess they did recently announce, didn't they like just recently say you can like start pandemicking stuff with the cooldown manager? I feel like it's just too early, man. Like it's just way too early to take away all of these tools that people have had for so long. And could not give them like a viable option. From what I've seen from the cooldown manager, just simply them removing add-ons and weak auras and their current options, while will maybe get there, are currently, I don't think, up to snuff with what we're losing versus what they're bringing into us. How do you guys feel about that?
I think for Fury, it's probably fine. Like, I think that we're probably one of the least impacted specs with the removal of like Ashen Juggernaut and the. I mean, it's not really a change to sudden death, but like the change to execute actually being a button worth pressing. So like,
Thank you, Deep Wounds.
yeah. Oh, and Executioner's Wrath, the very powerful button that buffs your rampage
that
for
one's
4
really
seconds.
good. That one's really good.
But I mean, I think you still can't track debuffs on your target. I think that they said that they were going to make it so you could, but like mark for execution stacks may be an important thing to track. Also, the Whirlwind change that they did in season 2 with Rampage, where like it doesn't deduct the Whirlwind stack until the end. Like people fixed that with the weak aura within like a day and just went back to normal, and now we're not going to have that anymore. So that's like, it doesn't affect gameplay or anything. It's just annoying.
It is. I when I was playing with it on alpha, it actually felt like so jarring going back to that. It's like really, really, really annoying. The number of times I like press an ability or like queue an ability up on one stack of Whirlwind and then watch it disappear and the ability go off at the same time. It's like, oh my god, it's maddening.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like weird stuff like if you have buff bars in the cooldown manager, you can't separate them. So like if I wanted to have a bar for my enrage duration and a bar for my sudden death duration, but like have one above my ability bars and one below, like you can't separate them. They have to be adjacent to each other. So it's just kind of weird. And like, I don't know. I hope that they can get everything taken care of, but like, I don't know. These seem like things that should have been in the first draft and still aren't implemented a couple months before expansion launch.
I've also heard that they have like no more than 10 people working on the entire UI. So they have like 10 people working on what like hundreds of freelancers have been doing for 15 years, and they're expected to get it all done in time for launch. Yeah, that'll happen for sure. Definitely.
I think the first tier is just going to be a fucking mess. I think it's just going to be a mess.
It's going to be really bad.
And that's the stuff with Cooldown Manager, which has been in the game for like 6 months already. Not to mention the nameplate changes or fucking details, which isn't even in the game yet.
Yeah. Guys, one of the favorite things I saw a post. It was a Twitter post. I can't remember who it was from, but it was a guy who was a tank player that said, "I don't know which mob is the caster mob because they all start with the same name, and the nameplate cuts off before I can see the distinguishing feature of the name." So like it's like a Vanguard Scalebinder, that would be the caster, or Vanguard Warmonger, that would be the melee guy, and all you can see is Vanguard on the nameplate because you don't have the ability to shorten or adjust for things like I've been using Jundies for a very long time, and it's been very good. So not even like the changes in coloring. The best part though, the most fun part of all of this is the fact that all the stuff you would want to work does work, but not in like Raid Mythic Plus combat. It works in the open world, it'll work in your delves, but not in Raid and Mythic Plus. The moment you get in there, that shit turns off and breaks, which is a decision for sure.
I think they fixed that to the point where now it just doesn't work ever. So
okay.
Silver lining, I guess. Oh wait, no, you're probably talking about like the loot council shit and stuff like that. Or
there's too much for me to remember, man. Like there's so much that's just not gonna work.
I know a lot of like the chat stuff got fixed. So like loot councils, Gamba, all that shit is like fine. That's like saved now.
Okay, that's
out of combat.
Yes. But you can use them inside raids. It's just out of combat, specifically, that it doesn't work.
Alright, everyone, stand around. No clearing trash to the next boss while we do loot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like really bad. I don't know. They're gonna have to peel back a lot of restrictions if they want their game to live, I think.
Yeah, TLDR, my stance on this whole thing with everything next expansion between add-ons and brooding. The direction is good, they're just going too far.
It's like an overbearing government. Like
I think I don't know, like without going on a tangent, that's just the TLDR. I think the direction is really good overall for the whole game next expansion. It's just they're crossing the line.
I think that this is another one of their like design decisions that sounds good philosophically, but is contingent upon being implemented correctly, and then it just isn't implemented correctly, and the game suffers because of it.
Yeah, after raiding for a decade, I'm fucking tired of weak aura bosses. I'm fucking tired of it. So them nuking that shit, great.
Yeah, the fact that
stop making raids, they're gonna stop making because they've been designing bosses around people using add-ons. Like, if they're not gonna do that anymore, like I said, like this whole thing, it's a good direction. It's just they're probably gonna fuck it up. But it doesn't really. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what direction they take; they're gonna fuck it up no matter what. So it's like at least the direction is good. I don't know. Maybe that's like a bad way to think about it, but
no, I think that's fair because I do think a lot of
I just like Sepulchre, dude. Like that fucking raid was unplayable without weak auras. Like that shit should not be a thing at all.
I do think that simplifying it in that manner is going to be overall a step in the right direction. People that know how to use the weak auras and the power of them obviously like gain a great benefit from them. I do. I wonder how it's going to really impact the race because they've been used to these tools for so long, but they'll find ways and workarounds and do whatever. So it'll probably won't really even
Yeah,
impact them that much.
it doesn't matter what Blizzard does, bro. We're all the good players. We're all gonna find a way, no matter what. It doesn't matter what they do.
Get
Like
the Diablo
we'll
3
all find a
Turbo
way.
HUD type shit.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
people are definitely gonna like figure out how to overlay shit. Like,
I think nuking this stuff is really good for the game. I know it sucks, and like and what I mean by like they're going too far is like I don't think shitting on people's UIs is I don't think that's good for the game either. But if shitting on people's UIs is worth getting rid of this weak aura bullshit, like then sure, I think that's worth it personally. But I mean, maybe I'm in a bubble because I don't use a weak aura UI, so I'm not really going to be affected by this at all. So
I wouldn't mind it so much if they actually had like reasonably customizable UI options on their own end, but they just don't.
yeah, that's what I mean. Is like
Yeah.
this is what I mean by they're going too far.
Yeah, it's too
Like-
much too fast for sure.
Because I really like the
feel like-
cosmetic. Sorry, good.
I was just gonna say I feel like they should have started by restricting like combat API add-ons or like combat API reading, like what they use to like make boss fight weak auras and shit, and just like leave the cooldown reading stuff in like for at least the first patch.
That's what I mean. Is like
Yeah.
the
At least until you
people's
have like
UIs,
something that works properly.
I think people having their own UI and stuff like that. That's like I don't see why getting rid of that is like that. What's the point in that? But shit, like I mean, Fractalist, you can do Fractalist without the weak aura, yeah. But having that
It's gonna be
completely does the boss
miserable.
for you. Having that completely does the boss for you, and like that kind of shit needs to go away.
Same with I feel like Ovanax is a really good example too. Like doing the eggs with weak aura versus without weak aura.
I
It's
just think the best example of weak aura bullshit nonsense is fucking Jailer or just Sepulcher in general. That whole fucking read was just an arms race of weak auras. Like it was a joke. That kind of stuff that we should never have a tier like that again. And that's coming
Among Us
from like
boss.
and that's coming from some, like a very high end player. Like that's I guess to stroke my own cock there a little bit, but yeah, it's like even at the super high end, like I'm sick of this shit personally. This is stupid. Like, and if I hate this shit, then what does that mean for all these other people that don't?
Yeah, because I'm fairly indifferent to it. Because personally, if it's there, I'm going to use it. If it's not, I'll do without. Like that. That's how. That's
Well, if
how
you have
I
tools
go
at your
about it.
disposal, you should use them for sure. But like, I don't know how. Did anyone in here do Sepulcher Frog?
I did not.
Nope.
That shit was not fun, bro. That shit was not fun.
The guild I was in died at the start of Sanctum, and then I played Classic for the rest of Shadowlands.
It's crazy that like even with getting like a full talent tree revamp, there's just fucking nothing to talk about for Warrior, really.
Well,
Maddox, you
Like-
saying that you played Classic made me think the Classic version of the game is going to have more complex specs and like weak aura and add-on functionality that the retail version of the game doesn't.
Okay, that's
Like,
okay.
that's funny.
Not true.
that's
That's
funny.
not true. Even with the pruning, there's nothing in Classic that's going to be as complicated as retail.
I mean,
I don't think
okay.
hitting Frostbolt over and over and over is going to be more
Well,
complicated.
I don't
than-
mean vanilla Classic. I mean current MOP
Okay.
Classic.
Well, like Mop, yeah. But when people say I don't think Mop is Classic at all. That's like modern WoW.
Yeah.
Mop
What-
for sure. Mop has like some of the most like you need to fucking take like a college course to learn a class in Mop. Like there's a lot of shit that goes into that stuff and that expansion for sure. So like 100% there, but I don't know, I hear Classic, I think of fucking vanilla boomers. I don't think Mop is. I get what you mean though. Like Bob
And
Classic.
you
is a
are the
thing, but,
vanilla
like,
boomer. You think Mop is fucking modern WoW.
I mean, Mop is like the start of modern WoW.
That was 12 years ago.
Okay, well that was 12 years ago, but like, what in the game? A lot of the stuff that we have now is what came in Mop, like, or at least like the modern game of like, flying in every zone, transmog,
Sure.
and complicated specs and bosses that actually do mechanics. Like,
Fair.
Yeah, I guess with the reduction in weak auras and add-ons and all that stuff, one thing they've kind of been going for, which I mean I hope is the case, like you were talking about, where it's like, hey, if I can press my spender, I should press it. I did mention a lot of like little things of like, hey, when this happens, you gain like execute generates 5 rage and increase the damage of rampage for 4 seconds. Stuff like that where it's like basically you're never going to pay attention to it and it's just going to do stuff for you in the background. I think is probably what they're going for. Things like the Arcane Barrage weak aura for Arcane Mages, which is truly an abomination of our time. And they're trying to get rid of stuff like that.
The thing with those like small buffs, like Executioner's Wrath, like either the buff matters enough for you to like track it and play around it, or it doesn't matter, and then why is it there in the first place, right? Because you're going to press execute when you're going to press execute, and you're going to press rampage when you're going to press rampage, regardless of the buff. Which, like, that talent is still more interesting than if it just said, like, rampage does 10% more damage or whatever. But, like, that's a fucking second to last row talent. Like, surely there's something more interesting that they can cook up than Wrecking Throw as, like, a next to last row talent, right?
Yeah,
what,
it's just.
What do you mean, man? Surge of Adrenaline is super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, maybe there's applications for, like, Kill or Be Killed or Last Stand, or if there's utility in
PvP
Champion
talent.
Spear. But,
Kill or Be Killed is a PvP talent. Like,
yeah, I mean,
that's all it is.
I
We
also
literally can't even afford taking it because we have 5 2-point gate nodes in our talent tree that will be taken always.
I'm also
Except for
worried about
experience, maybe.
Last Stand even being worthwhile, because the way it works is you have to go below 20%, and if they don't adjust the amount of damage intake the game works around, it's just not gonna proc. You're just gonna die. Like, it does save
I mean, they
you.
both suck. They're both really bad.
Yeah.
Kill or Be Killed has like some niche application in PvE, but like you're not even gonna have the talent point economy to take it for those niche uses. So it's like, who the fuck cares?
Well, they've gotten rid of those types of uses though. They've a lot of, like, for example, soaks you might originally be able to like cloak or immune or invuln now require bare minimum amounts of people to actually not just explode your whole raid. So like even those kind of potential niche uses in raid, I don't think are going to exist.
I mean, like the only thing it'll ever be used for is like if you're doing a hard boss and it has a hardened rage at certain time, it's basically like having a bubble at the end of the fight. But like that's it. That is like the only PvE application that is relevant. The only other thing is like in M+, if like a random bolt goes off and hits you without spell reflect and kills you as the pack is dying, which is like obscenely, like, what a weird set of conditions for this thing to have use ever.
Also remember, you have to kill the mob specifically that killed you.
Oh yeah, you also have to get the killing blow. You have to get the kill. It's not even like Impending Victory or War Machine, where it's just like you had to have touched it in the past like X seconds and you get credit. You literally have to like press the last button that kills the thing. So like, yeah, it's basically completely unusable except for in PvP.
Because
you don't even have the talent point economy to take it anyways because of Apex talents. So
it's just negative damage to take it.
Yeah, it's worthless. And it's a capstone in the fucking spec tree. Like,
well, PvPers giving up damage for something else is not an unheard of thing.
True.
So
no, it's like fine for PvP, but like to be quite frank, it's like they have less player base than fucking like cutting edge mythic raiders. So
the main thing I'm really sorry, go ahead.
I think the only other class that has a cheat in its as a capstone of its spec tree is Vengeance Demon Hunter, right? Like Rogue cheat death is in like the top middle of a class tree, right?
Yeah, cheat death is basically, it's near the top where you have to choose between it and elusiveness. So you get to choose between generally being tankier or being able to survive something.
Prot also has capstone cheat death.
Oh yeah, BSV.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, those are tank specs. Like,
it's continuing the trend of like randomly really bad cheat death in the capstone area.
BSV is also
Especially-
terrible too. Lol.
Yeah.
Well, and especially for a class whose main complaint, or not main complaint, but one of our main complaints for both Arms and Fury for a long time has been like our capstones aren't particularly interesting, or certainly not in a gameplay sense, but even in just like a numerical sense. Like we would rather take bullshit 2-point stat nodes than unbridled ferocity. Certainly than Kill or Be Killed. And if UF does work the way that it might with the Frothing Berserker stacks, then that's kind of
Yeah,
fucked
you're
up.
just not gonna use it. Like,
Yeah, not 6% chance to ruin your damage. Very cool.
yeah, that's
but, like,
good.
I don't know, like the new spear. That's kind of a cook for class tree. Like gives us some maybe not unique utility, but new utility.
Very
As
powerful.
a
very
capstone of a
potentially
class
powerful.
tree where like theoretically you shouldn't have to be making big damage sacrifices anyways. Like I think that's great. Last
Yeah.
Stand just fucking useless.
But it's like Sphere is also kind of weird because it's like, do you have the points to take it?
Well,
Like,
the thing I
it's-
like is that
it's
like
gated-
Battlefield
it's gated by
Commander
sidearm or wrecking throw
or
and it's like,
Retaliation, yeah.
I mean, sidearm is still probably better than 1 point in the stat nodes above, right?
yeah, maybe.
The thing I find weird as well is like it feels like Last Stand should be on the right side of the tree, and Battlefield Commander should be where Last Stand is, because they've built it to have like prot and defensive stuff kind of on the right side, and then DPS centric stuff on the left side. So now you have to path fully to the other side of the tree just to get Battlefield Commander, because it's simply 3% DPS gain.
Yeah, you have to take that.
And
it's
then-
also weird because they were like, oh yeah, we don't want as much throughput, and then they put fucking anger management and Battlefield Commander and Crushing Force and 4 throughput nodes gating all of them. Like, I don't know, man. Like, what are you guys doing? Actually,
I
Also,
think
I don't know if this was highlighted earlier, but the Thunderclap talents just being like all over the class tree. Well, like what's up
yeah,
with
that's
that?
weird. That's wacky.
yeah, barbaric training on the far left side, blood and thunder on the far right side, thunderclap at the
Thunderclap.
top,
Crackling
Crackling
thunder
thunder.
underneath
pain and gain.
like-
Like,
There's
Like-
just so much random shit, man.
well,
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see some changes.
Well,
But-
the thing that really is almost kind of upset me, I guess, looking at our class tree and the class tree changes, is the fact that Warriors really deserved that primo rework that I feel a lot of other specs actually got. And then we never got it. They kind of changed the class tree a little bit. And my main worry is something like this, where now the overtaking is so large with how many specs they're trying to prune and reduce and make simpler, that simply put, we're just not getting the rework we're supposed to get, and we're just doing the same shit. Fury,
My
I'm
worry
hoping... So good.
I was gonna say my worry right now is that it's gonna like not change massively between this and live, and we're just gonna be stuck with a worse iteration of Fury than we previously had.
I mean, they have, what, 4 months for 40 classes and UI? Like...
Yeah,
I mean, the class people and the UI people are different people, right?
I mean, they're different, but there's so much work to do. There's so much.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's also just like both teams are small. Like both are gonna be no more than like 10 people, and so it's like you have 10 people working on 40 different specs, and they all have new things, and they all have to get simpler. And then you also have to not piss off the player base by making them too simple, like they did with Resto Shaman and Fire Mage.
I promise
So,
you,
like-
it can't be worse than Warlords of Draenor Arms. It can't be worse than that.
Arms,
Are you
dude,
talking about
Arms is
which
actually
tier
looking
or
great.
Which tier?
Huh?
Which tier?
Oh, I
know,
just
like,
mean
Age of-
WAD, and I just mean WAD in general. Like the pruning was not
Yeah,
very.
yeah,
The
sure.
pruning was not kind to Arms and WAD.
I mean,
Yeah,
Arms,
that was-
yeah.
I mean, like-
A Felguard had more abilities than an Arms Warrior.
That's that's crazy.
Because I feel like
You had Rend, you had Charge, you had Rend, you had Colossus Smash and Mortal Strike, and that's it. And Whirlwind is a filler, and Execute. That's it. That's all you had. No Slam, no Overpower. Nothing.
Wait, really? Oh, that's because you had to pick in the note. You was like the 3 talent choices or whatever back then.
Slam was in the tree, but it was so fucking terrible you never played it. It had also had some stupid thing where it's like every time you cast it, the damage would go up, but the rage cost would go up, and it was fucking. Oh my god, it was a retard talent. Like,
Dude, Slam. I have to say though, like the arms tree's looking really good. We weren't really going
Arms
to
looks
talk about
good.
it, but it's
Arms
looking
looks,
great.
I mean, my TLDR with a lot of the warrior stuff for Midnight, I think a lot of it is overall really good. It's just the pathing is fucking atrociously bad in the trees. The general tree pathing is bad. The spec tree, like, just a lot of the talents are good. I mean, they're kind of boring, but like they're good.
They turned
The pathing is just
Bloodborne.
terrible.
Like I'm looking at the arms tree pathing, and you have a 2-point node into a 2-point node on both sides of the tree to get to the bottom of the tree. And one side is Mortal Strike, Cleave, and Execute crit damage is increased by 10%, and the other side is your bleed effects deal 10% increased damage, and those are both 2-point nodes. It's so bad. Like, I think they're gonna have to look at the talent point economy and be like, yo, we should probably just like remove some of these 2-pointers.
We also
Like-
just like don't have a lot of talents. Like nodes
I mean,
in
I
general, we
just-
have very few.
I just don't think any 2-point talent should exist in the game, period, for any spec or class. It just shouldn't be a thing at all.
Yep. Don't think that's a hot take.
Especially for warrior, because we have so many. But
Okay, so-
I just, in general, like, I don't think any class or spec should have to. It literally is just limiting what you can play with, and I think that's stupid.
Yeah. Just for reference, we have 34 talent points and 37 talent nodes, not including the Apex, because those are just kind of like. But yeah, we only have 37 points to like, or 37 nodes to even invest points into, which is like weirdly low, I feel like. Most specs are like 40 plus. So it's like not somehow our economy is fucked even with like less talent nodes on average than like every other spec.
Yep.
Which is like really weird. And also somehow we are also taking like the least amount of capstones. Like I think we take like four capstones, I think. 3. Maybe
Wasn't it
4.
Devourer, the new Demon Hunter spec, has like just so few talents in general. Like they can take almost their entire tree.
Yeah, they
which-
have not very many.
Which
at
is
all.
weird that like the newest, which is theoretically like the latest and greatest, right? Talent is so barren. But then yeah, like to what you guys are saying, like we have so many and so many of them are kind of stinky.
I just feel like
It's
they're
just,
trying to
like,
do
weird.
so much with so little time, and then everything's going to be half-baked.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's been true for the past 2 expansions. Why wouldn't it be true this one? I don't know. I was really hoping. Obviously, getting Apex talents is nice, but I would have really, really almost preferred to see changes to pathing, changes to like actual talents that we have. Like, because yeah, getting your Apex talent is nice, so you can provide feedback on it. But like, I think the actual tree is way more glaring of an issue.
I mean, the feedback for the trees themselves would have to be contextualized around the Apex talents rather than vice versa, right?
Sure, but I don't think that having the Apex talents or not having the Apex talents is going to change the pain points that have been presented. Right?
Not
like
these Apex talents.
Well, sure, but like I don't think there's any version of Apex talents that we get that changes our criticism of the Fury tree or the Arms tree, really? Like what could we get that changes the fact that our pathing is shit, our capstones are shit, and we have too many like knick-knack penny bonuses? I don't think there's anything really that could change that. Like our cooldowns are too weak, but I don't think you can make an Apex talent strong enough to change that either. To be quite honest.
Also, the fact that Apex talents are also under that last line of gated talent points towards the end. So if
The
there
other
was
thing is,
talent
like, you're
points you
also-
wanted, go ahead.
No, go finish.
So the other thing is that even with these Apex talents, if for some reason you wanted to drop additional talents in your, or there's talents in your tree you weren't like interested in and felt like you could drop, they're also locked behind the most valuable layer in the entire tree, so you can't even take them as like a side option to progress the tree without completely without getting to that tier 3 of nodes, if that makes any sense.
It's in a really weird state for sure. Yeah, the fact that I mean, like, I don't have much issue with you having to progress down to tier 3 to take them. I feel like it probably should have been something where like you have to spend 31 talents before you even get to touch the Apex nodes. I feel like that makes them feel more Apexy, but I don't really care. I think my like main point, I guess, is that like you're always taking Apex nodes, so they're kind of like inconsequential to the grander design of the talent tree.
Yeah,
Like
for
no
sure.
matter what they are, they're going to be designed so that you take them all the time. So like I'm less focused on the Apex nodes because I know they're they're a static factor. You're never not taking them, and I'd much more than focus on the actual talent tree itself.
Yeah, because the main reason why I guess why I see them so much is, or I look at them so much, is previously we actually had 34 points to work with inside the spec tree builder without them, even though we had the points there, and now with them there, I really feel the restrictions, and I really
I'm gonna be
feel
honest. I don't even really feel a restriction. Like as it currently stands, there's no way you're ever taking Focus and Chaos because it's behind Fresh Meat. So like you're never taking. That's like 2 talent points that you are always like having like forever. Deft Experience sucks, so you don't care about that. I think Unslaked Thirst kind of sucks because it's based on critical strikes, and the only way you can guarantee those really is in AoE. Otherwise, it's just RNG. It's like really easy to take Improved Whirlwind. Unbridled Ferocity sucks. I think Surge of Adrenaline kind of sucks too. Like, there's just like so many talents that are bad that it like makes it easy to take anything else that you actually reasonably want.
like Rampaging Ruin. That talent sounded so
That's
good
actually
at first.
another thing.
That talent
Dude,
sounded so good at first until I got told what it
so
actually
funny.
was.
Okay, this talent is hilarious. Okay, so like first of all, it's like fake uncapped damage, right? Like that's one thing, because it's not additive. It's just like it just replaces Rampage. The other thing is that it is contingent on you having Improved Whirlwind and having the buffs up, right? But you can talent into it without talenting into Improved Whirlwind.
Yep, there's there's pathing from Blood Craze right to it for like no reason.
It is an insane noob trap. I do not know why they did that. Like, the only reason I can see them doing that is like 1, an oversight, which is like pretty obvious, but 2 is that like this tree is half baked and it's like 2 or 3 iterations behind where it's supposed to be, and they just haven't released the new iterations yet. So like there's some fucky shit that we got that's like super janky that like wasn't supposed to be there or that they've already fixed. But it's probably just like typical Blizzard incompetence.
I do think it's funny how ARMS for a long time has been asking for Cleave to be like a trade-off with Mortal Strike, like make them the same button, but you can talent into it being an AoE versus a single target thing. And then they never did that, but then they did do it with Rampaging Ruin.
Yeah, it's a bit wacky, and like no one's ever asked for Rampaging Ruin to be a thing.
And then they
like
just
we've asked for uncapped AoE, but like not at the expense of sacrificing all of our single target damage.
And then they turned Frost DK into the better Arms Warrior, where you just get to choose between Obliterate and Frost Scythe.
I mean, it's just better Warrior. like, I don't know, man.
I mean, that's the way I felt about Ret Paladin, man. It feels like I look at these other classes, and Warrior doesn't get anything cool, and the Ret Paladin gets the cool talents, or the DK gets the cool talents, and we're just like, I guess I'm hitting my thing with like a toothpick here, which is the whole point of playing Warrior, but we've got no sauce, bro. We've got no flavor. It's like they want to keep pushing us towards bleeds as our flavor, but no one gives a fuck about that.
Man, I don't mind the bleeds, actually. I like Deep Wounds, and I like Cold Steel Hot Blood. It's just like, fully commit to it maybe a little bit instead of like doing this half-baked shit.
Because if it was
Yeah, I
like
mean,
your bleeds were passive and we were both just haste crit on the specs, and we're doing bleeds and we're getting healed and we're like, I don't know, lavishing in the blood or whatever. But then that's like vampire, and then holy DK. Woo.
is there even enough like bleed talents in either spec tree to like fully lean into them? I mean,
No, there's 3.
No.
right. So like you couldn't even go whole hog on bleeds if you wanted to.
No, they nuked all the bleed synergy when they removed Roar and Odin's Fury. Well, Odin's Fury isn't removed, but it might as well.
The capstone
so it's like-
talents, yeah.
Yeah.
And now Arms' Bloodborne is a 2-point fucking node. Fury's
Didn't it used to be
Bloodborne.
like back in Dragonflight, and then they changed it into 1?
Yeah, it was
Bloodborne is a
one.
2-point. Bloodborne is a 2-point node on live still right now.
Yeah. Well, it's terrible for a 2-point node. And then you look at Fury, and Fury's Bloodborne is if you crit something with Bloodthirst, it takes additional damage from your bleeds.
Okay,
Like-
so that's the tooltip. But whenever you critically strike something, it puts a buff on you that makes your bleeds do 20% more damage. It's not
Okay, so it's not actually on the target specifically.
Yeah, I was like kind of mad about that too because I was watching a fucking Dratnos video about Warrior and he like read it and I was like, wow, that's really bad. But I seem to recall that it was like a buff on the player, and then I like complained about it, and then Archie was like, oh yeah, it's actually a buff, and I was like, oh, W, all right, that's fine.
I think currently it's a buff that makes you take more damage from your own bleeds.
That is
So-
also true. Yeah.
Well, I don't know whether to infer from that it is meant to be a buff that gives you bleed damage, or if it's meant to be
Yeah.
a debuff and it's being improperly applied to you instead of to the target.
I don't know. It's weird. I'm hoping it's just a buff on the player, and like at least then it's not aids to maintain an AOE. I'm gonna be honest. I really feel like they should just go back to like Bloodthirst being enrage off of critical strikes, and then like
Be
you just kind
insane.
of you just fully
insane.
cement like the crit synergy. I
Yeah,
don't know.
be insane. It's almost like when
Yeah.
they removed the crit synergy, the stat became bad. Weird.
And then you just play boring Haste Mastery forever.
Haste
Well,
Master
no,
is so
you-
fucking boring, man.
You would play crit mastery almost certainly. But it would like
Yeah, but that's
marry-
fun because when you crit, your number is big, and then you have more mastery. That makes the number bigger. That's
Yeah,
more
I know,
fun
I
and
love crit
entertaining.
mastery, it's
That's way more entertaining than haste.
And then you
Be-
can even
be
choose
insane.
the.
They should
the-
just supplement haste through talents like frenzy, and like they should put haste on wreck. Hint hint, nudge nudge, please.
Hey man,
Um,
credit where credit is due. At least Frenzy isn't target bound now.
Yeah, no, that's a banger. That's a good idea.
Took 3 expansions, but we're here. So
But like they have this like enrage idea and this like critical strike idea, and if you just like make Bloodthirst proc enrage off of crits again, it would just kind of like marry the two ideas and like makes it feel a lot less disjointed instead of being like this weird thing that you have to talent into to like I don't know, it's odd. It's just odd.
Would you make Bloodthirst crits the soul enrager, or would Rampage still enrage?
No, I think Rampage should still enrage you.
Rampage
Just like
it just has to. Like Rampage has to do it. Like unless they're gonna make Execute a Spender again.
it's just like they have these two weird things where like you have crit damage tied to Bloodthirst from a couple talents, and then like you also have this like Bloodthirst crits make your Raging Blow deal more damage, and like Bloodthirst crits apply Gushing Wound. And then for some reason, Bloodthirst crits don't enrage you, but then lower down in the tree they have like enrage synergy with Bloodthirst. So it's like, okay, well you're doing this crit thing and you're also doing this enrage thing. Surely it just makes more sense to like tie those two things together instead of like having these two separate ideas that function off the same button. It's just like it's like a unifying thing instead of like doing dumb shit.
And they could just combine Rage Drinker and Deft Experience. And
Yeah,
and
I
cut
don't know
down on
why
some of the
Rage
points.
Drinker is a thing. Rage Drinker is weird.
I don't know, it's like what they did. It just feels like full talents are like half talents and split in half. It's like what they did with Strength of
Or
Arms.
combine Deft and Improved BT or something like that.
Literally anything. Like anything. Also, there's like this weird like I have an issue with improved BT beyond it just being a 2-point node in that it improves damage and critical strike damage instead of crit chance and critical strike damage, which is like very obvious. Like, why wouldn't you do critical strike damage and critical strike chance? And it's the same thing with crushing force. Like, you're pushing all this critical strike damage, but you're giving like no real benefit to proccing a crit strike and no reliable way to force a crit strike. It just feels odd.
Yeah, all we
And
have
like,
is
if you're
our.
gonna commit to the critical strike bit, you should commit fully and just go back to the version of Bloodthirst that benefited double from critical strike rating and enraged you on crits. And then there's like no issue. There's no like weird ideology clashing. It's like, it just feels very much like someone who's never touched Warrior before started designing Warrior.
I mean, it could be that they aren't trying to go like all in on the crit synergy and just go for more like what Unholy DK is now, where like all of your secondaries are basically the same. The problem with that is with low stat budgets in a first tier and after a stat squish, like I don't know, that kind of doesn't work so well as when, currently you can have like 18,000 of 3 different secondaries at the same time.
Well, because
Yeah.
like if crit is water, and like mastery, like if crit is water and haste is dirt, right now they're just mixing them together, and we're just getting full mud. We're not getting like all the one thing. That analogy is fucking terrible.
I have no idea what point you were trying to make with that.
No,
Go off, King.
I had some like thing pop up in my head. I'm like, hey, this is kind of fun, and then it just didn't work. This didn't work. But it's more so like it's just so muddled. It's in the middle. Like there's no there's no commitment to making it crit, or there's no commitment to making it like even, I guess we have commitment to mastery, but it just feels like, I guess when we once again talking about identity, realistically we have a bunch of stuff going on, but we're not like, it's not focused towards anything. It's just kind of going on. If that makes any sense.
No, exactly. That's like, yeah, that's like they have like water and oil, and they're just like trying to mix it, right? But like they haven't added the starch.
Yeah,
So,
that's better than dirt. Oil's better.
They're just
analogy than
they're
dirt.
just like making some cringe shit that's gonna separate out instead of like, making a nice little emulsion for their pasta. It's like, I don't know, man.
Because the way Fury's currently working, it's just nothing really, like, it's doing stuff, but it's not really like working with itself. And then Arms
it's just
seems to be just like, because I mean, even the gameplay, it looks like the gameplay is as simple as it's ever been, and even simpler, because we lost like we lost skill ceiling on collateral damage. And with how the talents of Rampage just extra damage for 4 seconds after you execute, it's just like, hey man, if you can press the execute button, you want to press it. If you can press a Rampage button, you want to press it, and stuff like that within your like cooldown, your execute windows. It feels like they're trying to go towards that, but that's kind of all they've walked towards, and they haven't really like chosen a path for the spec.
A couple things about comparing Arms and Fury. First of all, is Arms mastery on Alpha still just like damage with
Yes.
two-handed weapons?
Yes, it is literally the most.
It's just
boring
plus damage.
shit
Both
ever.
masteries are plus damage. Even the prot one is just plus attack power. It's just plus damage. It's fucking boring.
Okay, to be fair, prot is like
Well,
it increases the chance of critical strikes or the amount blocked by critical strikes or some shit,
Well,
and
all
additionally
tank
increases
ma-
attack
all,
power.
all tank mastery gives attack power. That's not a warrior thing.
Okay, so it's just a general.
Yeah, every
Throughput
tank
thing.
every tank's mastery gives attack power.
Yeah, like to what you were saying earlier, Zan, about like bleed synergy and stuff. Like they actively removed because Arms mastery was deep wounds, right? So like if you're going into bleed synergy, like stacking mastery for more bleeds could make sense, or at least having some additional value from mastery for bleeds. I don't know. In general, would damage with two-handed weapons apply to bleeds inflicted by two-handed weapons?
It should.
Okay,
I'm assuming
so I
it's just
guess-
a plus damage modifier. That's what I'm assuming it is.
Yes, it is. It is literally Fury Mastery without the condition that you need to be enraged. It's
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So like I mean that's fine, but like if you wanted to go for more of like a left side bleed focused build, but not necessarily a hit damage focused build versus right side hit damage focused build, and then could even have some more synergies with like the hero trees as well, where like maybe Colossus wants to be more of a hit damage build. Like I don't know, there's some interesting things that they could do with that, and they just kind of removed the Deep Wounds Mastery, which
To be
Thank God.
clear, I don't think that arms should be bleed focused. I think that both warrior like Deep Wounds is just like a warrior thing. I think that all warrior specs should have it, and they do now. But like I don't think that arms should be a bleed spec really. I feel like that suits Fury more. Like
well,
why
I'm
does
saying if you
the
wanted to have like a left
Sure,
side
sure,
bleed, right
sure.
side hit kind of
Yeah.
thing. The other thing is they removed martial prowess because they didn't like. I mean, I'm sure all of us have seen like people being like, "Oh, do I need to stack up 2 overpower buffs before I use my Mortal Strike?" And it's like, no, you don't. But like, it makes sense, I guess, that people would have that misconception, or like, I don't know. I don't think that just saying Mortal Strike when you can Mortal Strike is very unintuitive. But like, obviously people were running into that, so like them kind of simplifying that from a design perspective makes sense. But then they added like 15 different martial prowesses into Fury. Like all of those X buff Y talents, that's just martial prowess. Um, so it just seems kind of weird how they like took the bad things from one spec and then added them into the other in both cases.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
should just start over. Just go again. I don't know.
We handed them
try
the
again.
fucking like 4-page Google Doc of redesigns for Arms and Fury.
Yep. Just
Because
go
they
again.
needed that.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You guys,
Yep.
you can do it.
Yeah,
You know,
Mappa's out right now. Just port 5.4 Warrior into live, and we'll call it a day.
they can play with some more crayons and like plastic rings, and they'll get there eventually. Surely.
That's fine. Just port 5.4 into live and call it a day.
I would prefer 7.3.
5.4 better. Scales better with gear too.
7.3 is poggers though, and it had
Yeah, it's only
Bloodbath and
it's
execute.
only you only got to play Bloodbath with the tier though. No tier, no Bloodbath. Inner
I
Rage
mean,
without tier.
you played it in late Tomb.
Anyone playing Fury and Tomb is an absolute fucking moron. So
Played it on Harshatan. It was good on Harshatan.
yeah, it was still worse than Arms. And the
All
only
right.
person playing Fury and Tomb was Khalid, and that guy is a troll. So.
No, that's not true. Max played it too.
By Max, do you mean like Saraline Max?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
that was
Okay.
when
Yeah,
he was
well, yeah, well, that guy's a troll. Fury one trick. So.
yeah, but he was also like one of the best Fury players in the world. So
Yeah. Yeah, he played Necrolord to buff Hippo. He's a cuck.
oh
god.
I miss Max, man. Anyways,
I mean,
also like I don't know, maybe a lot of this criticism is also like contingent on what our like extra talent points in the hero tree are. Maybe they solve all of our problems. It's doubtful, but like maybe it's possible.
Have we seen
Like-
what those extra points are for other specs?
I think a couple have them, but none that I could name off the top of my head. I know Devourer has them for sure. On Annihilator?
are you talking about the extra? Well, that's actually something like in the Slayer tree. I do wonder if we might find some of these tier sets that we've been enjoying, or like if that shows up there, that'd be sick.
Yeah, it's possible.
Um,
DK has it too for Rider and Deathbringer. I don't know.
I was
about
going to ask
Stanley.
if the other specs that have the extra hero spec nodes have, if those have been themed around their current tier sets. Because I think for most classes, the current tier sets are pretty well received.
which version is it? Unholy that has them? You know.
All 3 specs have them.
So let's see.
I don't know what any
Permafrost.
tier sets do this tier except for Warrior. So someone else is gonna have to look.
Frosty K, something to do with Trollbane's Ice Fury or something like that.
For
So it seems like
Right.
no.
Who the fuck is playing Ryder? That shit sucks.
Oh, you're right. I don't remember what the Deathbringer does.
Oh,
It's just
casting
like-
That-
Obliterator
it's
Frostbite
just
orders
re-
Trollbane to cast his Obliterator Frostbite along you at 100%
just
effectiveness. Is that the tier?
You don't even play Ryder, so shit's irrelevant. But Deathbringer is like Reaper's Mark can get 15 more stacks, and then whenever
Oh,
you
that's
have
right.
Reaper's Mark, you get an Exterminate right away instead of after it explodes.
The
this
Deathbringer
is-
one is casting Frostworm's Fury grants 2 stacks of Exterminate with 100% first scythe and 100% second scythe effectiveness.
And they don't play Frostworm's Fury now, so that's like forcing them into a
No,
talent that
it's-
they aren't currently playing,
No,
right?
Is that what
That's
it's?
that's the Apex, I
Oh,
think.
No, that's
Oh, it's
that's
doing
the
that-
third the bottom
the
right
spec
talent
tree.
in the
Okay.
in
Oh,
the
is it?
Deathbringer
The-
spec tree.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
no,
yeah.
you're talking about for midnight. I thought you were talking about. I was like, no, on live it's off of Reaper's Mark.
Yeah, so
No,
that's the
that's what-
bottom right
that's what I was
talent.
saying is,
But the
like-
Apex talents are also Frostworm's Fury. Frostworm's Fury deals 100% additional damage to the first enemy it hits and grants you 15% haste. Casting it grants Runic Power. Recalling it grants Killing Machine. Deals 100% damage after the Frostworm flies away. You may cast Frostworm's Fury again to recall it. So the entire Apex talents are based around Frostworm's Fury, so you're probably going to be taking it for sure, no matter what.
But yeah, these new hero spec talents not being their current tier set doesn't necessarily inspire confidence that either Slayer, Thane, or Colossus will be their current tier sets.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't discount it, but
It's definitely like possible. It's just not like
Let's
shouldn't be
see.
expecting it.
I feel like
certainly.
if I were a developer and I needed to add talents, those would be some of the easiest ones to add, and therefore would have been done by now.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm also like the fan of Longsword's idea is like would be
During
sick.
rec.
Yeah, during rec on the Slayer tree. Like that would be an easy inclusion as well. And I don't know. I am very give them the benefit of the doubt, even though they have like consistently been monkeys for like 5 expansions. So like I don't know, maybe they have 2 of 3 and they're just waiting for the third or some shit. But
Well, wasn't the Dragonflight Alpha Warrior talent tree just like complete and utter dog
It was
shit?
worse.
It was
it was really bad.
crazy.
It was really
It
bad.
was.
They
it was
reworked the
worse than
whole
this.
thing.
So
Yeah, it was worse.
there's
It
precedent.
was worse than this.
Well,
There's
The other
precedent
thing
for
I've-
fixing it.
The other thing I've noticed is that like Warrior is one of the only classes it feels like where whoever is working on it doesn't like pushing shit out unless if like not necessarily they're like he's 100% happy with it, but it feels like they don't push it out until there's like sort of a laundry list of things, you know? And he also seems fairly slow to be like coming up with shit. It's like this Apex talent shit. Like, what the fuck is this?
Well, if assuming nothing changes, hope you guys like playing arms.
Yeah, can't wait to press heroic strike. Actually,
Slams a real
I mean,
button.
it seems like it'll actually be like a reasonably compelling button to press, right?
yeah, no, it seems cool. That's why I'm not even being like facetious. It seems cool. It seems like actually kind of cool. I never pressed heroic strike because I didn't start playing
I
warrior
mean,
until
is it actually gonna be off the GCD though? If it's not, then it's not heroic strike. Like
I mean, I'm
it's
pretty sure it just
fake
replaces
heroic strike.
slam.
It just
I don't know if
replaces
that's
slam.
GCD.
Yeah, so it's fake heroic strike then.
Yeah, but it's heroic strike nonetheless. It's like double damage too, and it gives you armor pen. So
Yeah,
that's
so
like pretty epic.
it gives you
Why do
armor.
they get cool shit actually?
Yeah.
Fuck arms.
It gives
I'm
you
mad.
armor pen.
watch-
You can have
watch-
multiple
watch your
stacks
mouth.
of it.
Watch your mouth, man.
When you consume
mad.
a stack, it gives Mortal Strike and Cleave damage and crit damage. And when you consume a stack, it reduces the cooldown of Colossus Mesh.
I mean, like literally, just take that, give it like Bloodthirst crit chance or something, and then instead of Colossus Smash, reduce Wreck cooldown. And I feel like Fury's kind of happy with that.
Dude, the thing that's so fucking weird about arms is because they removed Avatar, all it has is Colossus Smash. Like it's a 45-second CD. Well, actually no, it's gonna be like way shorter. with the Apex
like
talents
30
and
something.
anger management, it's going to be like a really
be like
short
20.
cooldown. You're just going to be fucking smashing.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, CS should be brought back to an actual rotational spell, not a fucking cooldown.
Yeah, I missed that actually.
This is
I
very,
feel like
very weird.
Warrior was kind of weird in that sense though, right? Because like didn't they kind of have like one unifying cooldown for like the 2 DPS specs?
Yeah.
Wasn't it just recklessness? Or am I making that up?
Mm.
Pretty much. I mean, what era? Like, how
I'm
old
thinking
are we
like
talking?
Mop. Like I'm thinking like Mop Wad.
Miss is like Skullband or Bloodbath.
Yeah.
Same thing with
Did
like
only
same
Fury
thing
have
with
Wreck?
no, I'm pretty sure Arms had it.
I feel like that's like low key good warrior fantasy. To be honest, like you're still a warrior, and there's still things that make the two specs different. But like having the same CDs is like kind of interesting, and making them do different things, and like
At
having
least
different benefits for each.
Rex cooler than Avatar for sure.
You had Recklessness, and then which was like a base ability. You had Skullbanner, and then in the 90 row, you either had Bloodbath or Stormbolt. But I don't think you ever played Stormbolt on Arms. I don't remember ever playing that on Arms. Stormbolt was like only played and you only played Stormbolt in Siege of Orgrimmar as Fury.
God, I want that shit back too. Make
Meanwhile,
that a fucking Thane talent. Make
these
that
other
a Thane talent.
Meanwhile, everyone else was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Stormbolt's a stun." Nope, that used to fucking be a Chaos Bolt. That shit was sick.
Yeah, I need that shit back. I want to play with it so bad.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Mop is not worth playing until Siege of Orgrimmar. It's just not. And it's only fun if you're crit capped, which like only, you know,
Is
a
thing in
very
the last
small.
patch.
It's not only a thing in the last patch, but you need like
Pretty good.
you're not gonna
gear.
hit crit cap till you're like 580, not like like at the end. Like you have to have like full bis.
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know. Make Bloodthirst proc and rage off of crits,
Bean
and make
sand,
it benefit double from crit chance.
bean sand.
It's just like you had. I feel like that's actually like it's not good design per se. At least like back then, because it made you so reliant on crit. But like certainly nowadays, that would be fucking sick.
Zan, how do you feel about replacing Kill or Be Killed, that like talent location with Bloodthirst gets double crit chance from like your crit rating?
I feel like
it would be too mandatory.
I feel like you don't have the
Yeah,
talent
they're
point
it would
economy
have to.
for
It would
it.
have to replace like Rage Drinker instead. I think it would have to be like immediately accessible. If it was like a culmination talent.
Just turn that into improved bloodthirst. It just double dips on crit. That's the improved bloodthirst instead of just X damage.
Yeah, sure, that works. I think.
Yeah, do that. Give back Wad anger management. Remove haste from enrage. Make it enrage last longer.
Oh,
What was
actually,
WAD anger
Um,
management?
Wad anger
anger-
management was just it makes it affect everything.
it's like
Oh, okay.
30. Every 30 rage you spend reduces like. It was like
Everything by
fucking
1
9
second.
different cooldowns by 1 second.
It was everything in your kit, including defensives and utility. So including your wall, including rally, it affected everything.
One thing I meant to mention in the class tree, I don't know if we did, is the interpose. That's insane. Not necessarily for the Blessing of Sac, which is also good, but like just the fact that we have a second leap on a 27-second cooldown, like, are we the most mobile melee class other than like Demon Hunter now?
If you had the talent
Rogue.
points to support it, I'd say probably.
I don't know.
Outlaw Rogue
other
is
than,
probably
like-
the most mobile.
I think
also like-
interpose is only good because of the mobility. I think the actual use effect of it is fucking trash. That's like one hit. 30% of a hit. Like if you use that on a tank, you're gonna take one hit. And more often than not, one hit is not enough to save a tank.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like if you had a talent that was just a second heroic leap, that would still be a good talent, and this is that but better.
It also
It is in a weird position though, you're right.
it
That's
also
what I mean. Is like the value of it is the mobility itself. Like
yeah.
I'm
the
looking at
actual
the
effect
tool.
is bad.
I'm looking at the tooltip, and it looks like it's only worth up to 20% of your total health, so it's even worse than
Yes.
Zac.
Yes, it's a lot worse than Zac.
Yeah, it's one
But it's
hit.
like that's
It's
a
literally
secondary
one hit.
effect tacked on to a fucking leap. Although
At
it
least
says
in
a target
any
location near your allies. So does an ally have to be nearby for you to use it? In which
I
case,
think
is
it's-
this literally any different from intervene? Like, is it different
it's
at
just
all?
intervene. It's just intervene.
My
It-
reading was
Well, it says
works like
target
leap
location.
And, yeah, my reading is it works like leap, and an ally in the radius of the like leap reticle gets the buff. I don't know if you can choose who it goes to or something.
Could be.
Well, it says dealt
I
to allies within the tooltip, so it could be everybody.
I mean, it's split between anyone in a 3-yard radius, but it's like a 3-yard radius. So, does an ally have to be in that radius for it to be usable, or can you just use it?
Imagine you use it on somebody and they like move out because the radius is so small, so you just don't get the benefit.
I think it's just like as soon as it like applies a buff to them. So like as soon as it's applied to them, it's just like it's done. You know, like they are going to be safer than they were previously. It's not like they can wander out of range. But also, I mean, I have no fucking idea. It's a weird ability.
I wonder if it
haven't
drops
played
like a
around
rune
with
of
it,
power
so, like,
people
at
stand
all.
in.
It reads like hot. It reads like shit.
Yeah.
The only value of that shit has to be the mobility. Like the actual effect of it as like a sack or something is terrible. Like you're gonna, like I said, in any relevant content like a mythic raid or a high mythic plus, you're gonna soak one hit, which is like, who gives a fucking rat's ass? Like
And
it's
it's
one
also
hit.
it's also a second talent point locked behind either Thunderclap or Stormbolt to get it.
Well, to be fair, Stormbolt is a 100% take on Slayer all the time because it's a damage increase. So
Yeah, I'm a
Ooh.
0.01% damage.
yeah, it's basically you never don't take it.
I don't know. I don't play that shit in raid. On any fight that isn't pure single target, I'd rather have.
It depends on the damage, what they're taking it from, because it only prevents so much.
There's like something cringe about the class tree,
the
but I
pathing.
can't remember what it is.
There are a lot of things cringe about the class tree.
The pathing
Yeah.
is atrocious.
I mean, like-
as shit.
There's a lot of bad stuff about it, sure. I can't remember what I was gonna say. Oh well.
Were you going to talk about Menace and why it's still in the game?
No.
That actually had application on a Raz.
That ain't no fucking way
I've-
anyone was playing that shit on a Raz.
I
Unless if you were in fucking Swordish's scuffed ass fuck
No,
ass
my-
guild.
You gotta be in some fucking cesspool dog shit like Chuck E. Cheese ball pit guild for that to be.
Jared was taking it. Jared was taking it as a last resort button.
Okay, well Jared's a fucking idiot.
Well, whoever Jared is,
I
I
fear.
hope that they fucking step on Legos because they're a dipshit. I don't know.
No.
No, I mean that sounds like Jared is based. It's everyone else in Jared's guild that needs to figure some shit out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you press Menace on those ads, you're gonna fucking instantly wipe the raid because it centers the knockback on your main target. So
Yeah,
it
so
fucking
you-
launches shit away from where, like,
Yeah,
there's
you
no
use
way
it.
that's
You
ever
use it
good.
on a Raz, and it knocks them backwards through the portal.
Oh
It's like,
my
bro, just
god.
At that point, if you want to knock back so goddamn bad, just give back Siegebreaker from WoD.
That is disgusting.
What I said or what he said or both?
No, what? No, I don't really care about getting. Sure, fucking give us Siegebreaker from WoD. I don't give a fuck.
That shit was ass.
I don't care. Oh, okay. I wanted to say this earlier. How do we feel about Powerful Enrage giving Leech?
I don't like the powerful enraged nerf.
I mean,
I don't
that-
like powerful enrage in general. Again, for what I said earlier about like the class fantasy of Fury. Like
I feel like
See,
powerful.
low Fury just is
I-
bad.
I don't disagree with your point, but I hate fluctuating haste values.
I do
and
as well.
Having high haste all the time makes Bloodlust shit for you. We do not
I mean-
spike nearly as hard as everyone else, unless because we already have so much. Like
Like
I'd rather just get like 30. I'd rather just like stack up to 30%, call it a day, and just
I'd rather they just pick
done.
one. Just pick one, whichever one they want in the game, because like
I mean, that's why I said like I unironically want Legion and Rage back, because the double auto attack speed is going to give you roughly the same amount of rage gen that you have now with the haste on live. It's just going to have a much more consistent GCD.
It wouldn't apply haste for bleeds though, and if they want to go for like a bleeds being more of your damage,
I
then
mean,
that would be.
that's fine. Like they're never gonna dip so far into bleeds that it's like a feral druid. That's just never gonna happen. And if it does happen, then I will bitch immensely, because that is awful. I don't want to be a dot class.
I gotta go to raid, but good chatting, fellas.
Have fun.
yeah,
Good luck.
feels like we're basically towards the end of what we're going to talk about anyway.
Yeah.
I don't got
See
much
ya.
else. Bye bye.
Yeah.
That was just Big Bull leaving, not me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was like, holy shit, Zan's just dipping out too.
Yeah, no, I
But
was just saying bye to him. That's all.
yeah, overall, I think the stuff is good. The tree pathing is terrible, so they just need
There's
to fix
also
that.
there's some like real stinkers, I feel like too.
Oh,
Like-
there's some fucking dog shit talents, like the powerful enrage nerf is stupid. Odin's Fury and Bladestorm on a choice note is stupid.
Surge of Adrenaline is dog shit. Unbridled Ferocity is dog shit. Executioner's Wrath is like an interesting idea, but it's like tuned too low to ever matter. Same with Unslaked Thirst and
Rage
Scent of
Drinker.
Blood. Massacre actually has value now, which is fucking crazy. Kind of a big fan of that.
Wait, did they take the improved execute part of the cooldown reduction and put it into Massacre?
No, the
Oh, that's always been
CDR
there.
was always there, but like it's just execute is more valuable because of deep wound, so massacre has more value.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
Even with the sudden death proccing,
and
it's still
you
just,
could
like,
be
good.
you should be able to cleave it as well, so you have deep wounds and AoE.
Yeah. It's just adding more execute synergy and like wanting to press the button more because deep wounds ignites is like crazy good.
Yar.
Yar. I don't know. Other than that, it's like
Yeah.
wreck
No,
is shit.
dude, it actually feels. I felt like we had more to talk about in Dragonflight, and it just feels really weird in the War Within, where it feels like nothing. I
Nothing
mean,
happened.
outside of like nerfs, our class just got smoothed out to mid, and then it's just kind of been mid.
We've been playing. We've been playing BFA for like 4 expansions now, or however long it's been.
5, going on 5, I think.
It's like it's time to fucking change.
I just hope we get some like real change, considering the amount of work they have to do going
Yeah, we're
into
going
the
on 5.
expansion. But I feel like we're just gonna go live like this, and everyone's gonna be it's gonna be arms time.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping we like actually get some real changes next week instead of just like we only got Apex talents this week, right? Like that's it.
Isn't
I'm
next
pretty
week
sure.
supposed to be like more hero talents? Was there a
I don't
roadmap or
think-
something, or no?
I don't think there's anything scheduled on the roadmap for next week that was like relevant to us. But I'm just hoping that there is more in the patch notes than last week and this week combined. That is it. Because last week was like bug fixes, this week was just Apex talents and like taunt rage generation, which was a universal tank change. So it's like I don't count that.
That change is like I get it, but it's also
It doesn't fucking. It's
just
irrelevant.
buff tank
Just-
threat, man. Just buff
Just buff
the
tank
only
threat.
one that gets benefit from it is Prot Warrior because they get the AoE taunt. Like everybody else, like Bubble Taunt maybe. I don't know. Like just buff tank threat.
And Monk.
Just buff it.
Monk has AoE taunt too.
Like I'm watching Ruzi slam into a boss and lose aggro on the fucking boss. Like,
Yeah,
that was
he's-
crazy.
He's only losing aggro on a boss to a demon hunter funneling. That's like the only thing. But I don't disagree with you though. I don't think threat should be a mechanic in the game anymore. It's just that shit has overstayed its welcome by like a decade. Threat should have stopped being a mechanic and like fucking I don't even know, Warlords of Draenor, Legion at most. Like it's just like if you touch something as a tank, you should just have aggro on it. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's stupid.
Man. Well, I guess that's it for this. So
I don't got much else other than just like rehashing things. So
yeah, there might be more to talk about like towards the end of alpha, I guess, but there's just simply, I mean, not much going on in the war within, and outside of a couple niche things and just like class tree pathing, not too much going on in alpha really either. So
yeah, hopefully I can sneak in because I would actually like to test this time around.
me as well, because like I would have much preferred to have some kind of hands-on before talking about it, which is why I haven't talked about it nearly as much as I've kind of wanted to. I just have no like frame of reference for it until I get a feel for it.
Yep. We meet again at the end of Alpha, surely.
Surely. All right.
Sounds good. So yeah, appreciate it, boys. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me.
Jian.
Jian. Okay. Okay. Well, that was our... Oh, don't want to move that. That was our little warrior round table. I have raid in about 10 minutes, so I need to go do that. Well, I don't have raid. I'm watching, or I'm just like in raid. Well, my guild is raiding, so I need to be there. But because I'm not in raid, I'm probably just going to chill and watch and do that kind of thing. But otherwise, that is it from me. I'll also throw this up on YouTube for the people that want that. Thank you very much for watching. And once again, that was Gilneas. You can find him on his Twitch channel, Gilneas. Xantaga, he does some YouTube stuff. I think he Twitch streams every now and then for like PTR cycles. And then that was Nev Doc. I keep wanting to say Nevo DK. I don't know why. That also joined us. That's my first time talking to him, so it was very nice to talk to him as well. Otherwise,